Welcome to Doodle World. Doodle World is very, very similar to, but legally distinct from Pokemon. It is a very cool game about doodles that fight each other. You can catch and print doodles, then you can make those doodles fight other doodles, and then later, other people. It's fun. That's what Doodle World is, but you may be asking, how do you play Doodle World? I'm about to tell you. Why would you be asking that? Out of all the people who would be asking that, why would you be so impatient that you feel the need to ask that question a second time? You play Doodle World by leveling up your doodles and teaching them moves. Moves have types, and so do the doodles. The type, weaknesses, and effectiveness chart looks like this. It's a nightmare, but let me explain. On the left side is the move that is being used to attack. And then on top is the type of the doodle that is going to be hit by the move. For example, water, it hurts fire. Standard Pokemon logic applies to most of these. However, as there are multiple new and interesting types in this venture, some of them may be hard to remember, so allow me to help you with that. One of the matchups that I'm notorious for forgetting is that food is super effective against mine. Here's a tip to remember this matchup. During Happy Tapioca, it is hard to think straight. Another matchup that might be confusing to some is that poison is super effective against water. An easy way to remember this matchup is thinking of if you poison a drink and then drink the drink, it kills you. Another confusing matchup with poison is that it is effective against air. This one is easier to remember, however, as you can think of pollution and global warming and how the air kills people in some countries. Fire is strong against beast. Think of it like this way. If you set a lion on fire, it won't know how to put itself out. Here we have light being weak when it's attacking food. An easy way to remember this is that if you shine a flashlight on a piece of cake, nothing happens. Alternatively, think of a birthday cake with lit candles in a dark room. It just sits there and takes it like a badass. One matchup that confused me at a time was that Earth is strong against poison. I learned to remember this by realizing that poisonous things, like scorpions or snakes, are very easy to crush with rocks. One of the most confusing matchups is that ice is strong against fire. However, fire is also strong against ice. Have you ever thrown a snowball at a fireplace? It doesn't end well for either of them. That's how. Ice is strong against air because the higher up you get, the colder it is and the less air there is. Alternatively, icicles are much larger than birds. Crystal is strong against electric. Next time you see a power line, try cutting it with a gemstone. The wire loses every time. Electric is strong against insects. Ever seen that video where the guy controls the cockroach with by his phone, where he makes it think that it hit a wall and then it turns? Crystal is strong against spirit type. This one confused me a bit, but the best reason I found is that salt is used in protection rituals and stuff. For this same reason, for the protection rituals, whatnot, light is also strong against spirit type. Spirit has no effect on basic type, because everyone is basic and ghosts aren't real. This goes both ways, as basic also has no effect on ghosts. Water is weak against water, because if you water water, it grows. There are a lot of types that are weak to themselves, and I mean, it's pretty easy to see why, because it's just conflicting forces. But there are some, like Beast, which is super effective against itself. Yeah, have you ever seen two animals fighting each other to survive. It's brutal. Ghost is also one of these types. I'm not exactly sure why. Light is weak against light because if you shine a flashlight at a flashlight, nothing happens. Then there are a couple type matchups that just don't make any sense at all. For example, insects are weak to melee, as bugs are incredibly easy to punch. However, melee is weak to insect, as bugs are incredibly hard to punch. Food is strong against melee. How would... Okay, so like, imagine you're in a wrestling arena, like a ring, and the guy you're up against is like incredibly swollen. He's about ready to tear your head off, and then you just pelt him with eggs, like repeatedly. Just throw eggs at this guy. Like if you aim your eggs right, that guy can't do anything. He's screwed. Like you just keep throwing eggs at him, and then when he turns back, you just keep throwing eggs at him, and then you impale him with a stick of rock candy. How about that?